NationSquid first joined YouTube in 2013, and his content is about as varied as my own. While his newer stuff tends to center around tech development and pop culture, his older videos span a variety of topics, from urban legends to historical events to internet mysteries. My personal favorites are his videos on the Shroud of Turin, the Buddy Holly plane crash, and his two-part Columbine series. But for a channel who so often discusses hoaxes and rumors, NationSquid had a habit in his earlier years of making them himself.
Hospital in critical condition. Miss Chibuk wrote and starred in a half-hour daily show called the Sun Coast Digest on station WXLT-TV. This morning, she said...
On January 31st, 2017, as part of the Freaky 5 series, NationSquid uploaded the video Lost Footage, with the #1 entry being Christine Chibuk's on-air death. The tape is infamous for being impossible to view by anyone, due to the only copy being in the hands of a large law firm for just that reason. But despite the odds, the end of the video shows what appears to be a clip of Christine's last words, without any explanation as to how it was discovered. Members of the lost media community instantly began to speculate on where the footage came from, or if it was even real. Some aspects seemed to be authentic, like the image being in black and white, and more closely resembling the look of pre-beta home video systems, like the Sony CV2000. The set also resembles what can be seen in photographs taken afterwards. Other parts seemed less convincing, like the audio distortion and inconsistencies in the lettering on the news desk. It wasn't until a month later when a Facebook user contacted Gordon Galbraith, former news director of WXLT where Christine had worked. He confirmed it was fake. According to him, the camera was positioned to have Christine in full frame at the moment of her death, whereas the Freaky 5 clip is a wide shot. The video was set to private after this revelation, but it's since been re-uploaded to the Internet Archive. When fellow YouTuber Rainbot asked him directly about where he had found the clip, NationSquid had this to say: "I'm sorry, but the information that I have on the source of the video has to remain strictly confidential, at least for now. Consider this: if I had faked it, I wouldn't tell anybody. And if I had found it, I couldn't tell anybody."
A royal wedding party. Call your cable or satellite provider or visit weddingcentral.com to find out how to get Wedding Central. It's your VIP party.
In another Freaky 5 video, this one titled Broadcast Intrusions, most of the clips shown were recreations in the absence of any real footage. However, one entry, allegedly occurring on September 10th, 2010, appears to have been entirely made up. The incident happened on the short-lived cable network Wedding Central, which had its signal scrambled for roughly 8 seconds during an episode of Bridezilla's.
South Carolina. My biggest wedding day fear is my wedding dress not fitting. All right, y'all better be ready. Be still right now. Don't breathe. I need you to pull over.
The company was unable to find any physical trace of the hack and ruled it as interference from another station. Wedding Central was a real channel owned by Rainbow Media Networks that ran from August 2009 to July 2011, but it had a very limited distribution. The only cable companies to host the channel were Mediacom, Cablevision, and a handful of Time Warner providers. This makes it less likely for anyone to have recorded the incident, but very likely for it to have been reported by smaller news outlets. Despite this, no primary sources exist describing the broadcast hijacking, nor is there any statement from the company itself. Another thing to note is that, in real cases of signal intrusion on cable systems, the media on screen can almost always be traced back to its source. In this case, there's absolutely no television program or clip containing this image from before NationSquid's video. While it's entirely possible that the perpetrators could have created the footage themselves, a la Max Headroom, this wouldn't line up with the supposed official explanation given by Rainbow Media Network. If it really was interference from another station, the company should be able to figure out which station it was and what it was playing. The video can still be seen on his channel today, but due to the various inconsistencies and without any other evidence, the 2010 Wedding Central hijacking is unlikely to have ever occurred. This story somewhat reminds me of the creepypasta Username 666, in that both are about disturbing YouTube channels created back in 2006 with little surviving information about either of them. In July of 2016, NationSquid uploaded a remake of an older video titled Top 10 Creepy Things on the Internet, with mostly new and revised entries. One of these was the story of an old, now deleted account called Godly Recon, created by a 23-year-old woman named Caroline. She'd first used the channel to blog about her life, but soon she began to talk about a strange man who would stalk her, leave phone messages, and at one point even sent her a photo of her house. This continued to escalate until a final video was published in April 2007, simply titled Goodbye. It showed only a black screen with the sounds of a woman screaming. YouTube quickly took down the account and scrubbed any mention of it from the website, despite the video going viral, and to this day, Caroline has remained missing. For such a mysterious and unnerving story, one that would have taken place concurrently with the also viral Lonely Girl 15, there's surprisingly little documentation of its existence. No online articles covering the account exist from before 2016, and what information we do have mostly comes from NationSquid himself. Not long after he uploaded his video, the YouTuber Scare Theater contacted him asking for any more information about Godly Recon. He claimed that the channel was real, that he remembered when it happened, and that he obtained the videos from a website that he, conveniently, couldn't find at that moment. He also sent an archived version of the channel's homepage that claimed it was first archived on October 18th, 2007. However, when uploading any file to the Internet Archive, you can set the initial date to any time you want, even from before the Internet existed. Additionally, the archive's metadata reveals that its files were updated at around the same time as the Top 10 video was posted, and further backtracking of the images used in the archive revealed that they had been uploaded to Imgur just weeks prior. Scare Theater even went as far as to search missing persons databases in and around Scotts Mills, Oregon for Caroline, but came up empty-handed. NationSquid also gave him the usernames of two people on Reddit who remembered the incident, Lego Wacko and 90s Nickelodeon. Both users gave their accounts to Scare Theater, and while one of their profiles can still be found to this day, the other has completely vanished. Other inconsistencies, such as the incorrect font being used for the search results, or her channel only having 822 total views 6 months after her extremely viral post, all point towards the obvious. The Godly Recon YouTube channel was nothing more than a strange and intriguing ARG created by NationSquid and inserted between real-life internet mysteries to bolster its credibility. This is not to say that NationSquid is a bad or dishonest person for having duped his audience like this. Sometimes there's no better way to flex the creative muscle than by trying to make something as realistic as possible. Plus, if it hasn't been made apparent by now, this video has been an exercise in admiration more than anything. But even if these were all hoaxes, there's still many unanswered questions about them. Did NationSquid film all the clips himself? Who were the women that portrayed both Caroline and Christine? Did the other videos on the Godly Recon channel exist in full? If this isn't the actual WXLT news desk, then where did they shoot it? Why is the Godly Recon segment absent from the only known archived copy of the Top 10 video? Who are the two Reddit users who claimed to see Godly Recon? Are they even real? Considering that NationSquid has moved on from this sort of content, these questions will most likely be left unanswered. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, press the oblong-shaped white thing right below the video. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go. Metafiction Theater's about to come on and I gotta tape it.
You call it an homage, sir.
A what?
An homage, sir.
That's bullshit.